What is the better of the two food chains based out of Pennsylvania but growing and expanding outward? There is reportedly a rivalry between the Wawa food chain that is based out of the Philly area and has locations from New Jersey down to Florida, and Sheetz, which is based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with a reach of western to central Pennsylvania to Virginia and West Virginia. Both are similar in that they have food, made to order, ready-made, and the typical snack assortment, and have affordable gas. As you can imagine, people in the Philly area love Wawa and Pittsburgh people love their Sheetz. As a person born in Philly and raised in New Jersey, who has been accused of leaving New York just to go back to a state with Wawa, I prefer Wawa based on my experience. Only recently have I ever encountered a Sheetz. On long drives, I stopped to use their facilities and bought coffee. Nothing else. Usually because I stopped at a Wawa to stock up. Not to avoid Sheetz, but I like to be prepared. But I am not a person who automatically takes one side or the other without experiencing both. So, I had an opportunity to visit the great state of West Virginia, and right across from my hotel was a Sheetz. A quick and easy walk, which I did that first night. It was a rainy evening, but it died down just long enough for me to make the trip back and forth. Compared to Wawa, I believe there are slightly less options and shelving. Not a problem, they had things that I liked from another Philly-based company. So I grabbed a couple snacks and went to order food. I decided to try a couple of their chili dogs and grabbed a coffee. The chili dogs were not bad at all and I was satisfied with my meal. So, I decided the next morning to give their breakfast a try. As I worked through the morning and realized I missed my hotel's breakfast, I walked again across and placed an order for a breakfast sandwich and some French toast sticks. Now, I say breakfast sandwich lightly because it literally was the smallest breakfast sandwich I have ever received that was not out of a store freezer section. The French toast sticks lived up to the billing. I read that they were popular and they were worth it. Shortly after that trip, I headed out for the day and missed my turn, which Google Maps gave me a punishingly long detour as a result. But what made that less punishing was what I saw when I came through the wilderness to reach the business district and see the 4 letters I did not expect to see. I had to pull in and supplement my breakfast. As I walked in, I held the door for a person from Pennsylvania who remarked, "Thank God they have a Wawa." And I agreed. So, I grabbed some food for the day. I did visit Sheetz a few more times during my trip as it was conveniently close. If I venture near one again, I may try something else on their menu. In terms of quality of the store, the place was extremely clean, service was great, and the facilities were impeccable for a high-traffic food hub. The staff was very welcoming, but not completely sure if that was due to the environment or because of the training. In the South, people are more hospitable, compared to the North. And the pricing was reasonable overall. They do not have as many private labels or store brands like Wawa does, which is something Wawa fans love. But they have name brands and products like Tasty Cake that can be hard to find outside of the Philly area. So appreciative of that. But Wawa also had it, so it was a wash, but still a good thing. To each their own. In my opinion, Wawa has more to offer in the diversity of selection across the board, but Sheetz will meet your needs as well. But I will never take my Wawa for granted.
How annoying are those Google Maps alerts while driving? The dominant player in the market for geo-position systems, or GPS, is Google Maps. Everyone pretty much has to use them or Google's other service ways. But Google Maps is probably more user-friendly and is very helpful. But there are some things that are simply annoying. Many programs on your navigation systems in modern vehicles try to focus on not distracting you while driving. Some programs, like Android Auto, try to prevent you from driving while distracted by pausing your scrolling or use of apps while you drive. It can be annoying, but it also can be reasonably contributing to your safety. That being said, every time you come near an area where there may be some police activity, there is an alert to confirm, which can be annoying. Maybe it is protecting you from getting a ticket. But why do you have to confirm it while driving it? Everything else you cannot, but confirming events for Google is somehow acceptable? Pretty annoying. Another change that I would hope that Google would make is an option for taking a highway over back roads or avoiding areas with higher crime rates or lower quality of infrastructure. Also, Google should probably not direct traffic to crowd neighborhood roads so someone can potentially save 15 seconds. Maybe protect residential areas as much as possible. Sometimes, Google can direct you through some areas that you really do not want to drive through, which may be a reason that it is less crowded. Like most people, I would value safety over expedited trips. Value avoiding damage related to poorly maintained roads and ignored potholes. Sending people through these areas just simply makes matters worse. Is it simply an oversight by the technology or a purposeful disregard of where a rational person may want to drive through? Good or bad neighborhoods alike. Sometimes, directing you through residential streets can be awkward as you try to avoid more pedestrians, children, and family events that you are not part of intruding on. Not a big fan of driving through residential areas, especially late at night when there's a highway alternative. Do not want to be the noise that keeps people awake. But sometimes it is unavoidable. Other times it is. Google Maps should simply give people more options than just the green options. Be more open-minded about the driver experience.